There's a quiet kind of magic in the way a woman reveals genuine interest, a magic most men never truly notice. It's not about obvious flirting, the flashy smiles or dramatic gestures that many expect, the kind of signals that often end up being part of a social performance. No, when a woman is genuinely into you, her interest is expressed through soft, subtle gestures, tiny, almost invisible cues that slip past the untrained eye. And that's exactly what I want to open your eyes to today. From years of conversations, real-world experiences, and deep human dynamics, I've learned that authentic attraction doesn't always arrive with fanfare. Often, it comes quietly as whispers, not shouts. It's in those whispers, those subconscious behaviors, where the truth lives. Let's start with something subtle, yet powerful, unconscious proximity. Imagine you're standing face to face with her. She isn't just looking at you, her gaze wraps itself around you, absorbing you in a way that doesn't feel casual. It's slower, more deliberate, as if her eyes are tracing a story only she knows. She's not glancing, she's observing. Most people see eyes, you're going to learn to read the intention behind them. But it's not just her gaze. Her body will reveal things she hasn't even said aloud. When she's into you, she doesn't exaggerate her movements or seek attention through drama. Her posture shifts gently. She leans in when you speak. Her head tilts even slightly. These unconscious body movements show presence, comfort, and interest. Neil Strauss calls this unconscious proximity. It's the body's natural pull towards someone we're drawn to, a gravitational force expressed without effort, planning, or awareness. To catch it, you've got to look beyond the loud and dramatic. A woman who's genuinely into you often won't even realize how her body is adapting to yours. Her feet point toward you, her torso angles in your direction. Even in a group, her body will subtly face you. That's not just politeness, that's emotional magnetism. Then comes mirroring, one of the clearest signs of authentic connection. She starts adopting your tone, gestures, rhythm. It may seem like coincidence, but it's a neurological response tied to empathy and emotional bonding. When someone's interested, they mirror not deliberately, but instinctively, but don't get fooled. It's not about one-time imitation. Mirroring must be consistent, subtle, and recurring. It shows that her emotional energy is syncing with yours, that her mind and body are trying to match your rhythm. That's not small talk, that's resonance. Now let's talk about something most men never even notice, the tone of her voice. When a woman likes you, her voice softens not intentionally, but naturally. It warms, the cadence changes. She may pause just enough to keep your attention. Neil Strauss describes this as an unspoken invitation to stay mentally close, to stay with her. It's how she holds space without saying stay. If she opens up during this, even better. If she shares a personal thought, a story, a belief, especially when she doesn't usually share that kind of thing with others, that's not accidental. That's a window she's opening for you alone. The same is true with physical contact. But I'm not talking about bold, forward gestures. I'm talking about the kinds of touches that seem accidental, but aren't. Her hand brushing yours when she laughs, her fingertips resting briefly on your arm, the way she maintains closeness during a conversation. These micro touches are often involuntary and honest. They say, I want to be close to you, without needing to verbalize it. These signals, Neil teaches, are almost impossible to fake, because they're wired into the way our chemistry works. And here's something else: when a woman is into you, she doesn't show it only when you're in front of her. She shows it when you're not around. She'll message you without needing anything, just to share a thought or keep a connection warm. She might comment on something you posted subtly. She remembers and brings up small things you mentioned in passing. That's not small talk. That's memory and attention, two pillars of emotional significance. And here's the thing most men completely miss. None of these signs by themselves are proof. But together and consistently over time, they paint a picture. Interest doesn't arrive in fireworks. It arrives in patterns. Neil emphasizes this. It's the pattern, not the moment, that reveals her heart. Ask yourself, does she find reasons to be near you, even when there's no practical reason? Does she make an effort to know you, not just what you do, but who you are? If the answer is yes, you might be looking at something deeper than passing interest. But let's go further. There's one behavior that tells you more than most: how she listens. I don't mean that she hears your words, I mean how deeply she tunes in when you speak. Is she waiting to talk, or is she truly present with you? A woman who's into you listens as though your voice is the only sound in the room. Neil calls this a rare gift, the full focus of someone's emotional energy. When she listens like this, you'll notice. You want to share more, be more honest, more vulnerable. Why? Because you feel safe, and that leads us to another major sign: memory. When a woman likes you, she remembers things, little things. A joke you made, the coffee you drink, the way you described your day. Weeks later, she brings them up effortlessly. That memory is intimacy. She's holding your details because they matter to her. And here's something many overlook: time. Time is the most valuable thing we have. And when she gives you hers, not in grand, orchestrated ways, but in spontaneous, simple ones, that's real. A quick check-in, a meme, a moment of presence between meetings. If she consistently creates space for you in her world, that's a huge sign. And what about energy synchronization? When two people click, their emotional rhythms start to align. Her breathing, tone, even her posture begins to reflect yours. This doesn't happen consciously. It's not mimicry. It's chemistry, and when it's real, time feels slower, moments feel fuller, the connection becomes almost tangible. Don't confuse this with good manners or social grace. True synchronization has intensity and natural flow, a fluidity you don't have to force. Next, pay attention to how she includes you in her life. This is big. When she starts bringing you into her world, not just through words, but through actions, it's real. She'll introduce you to friends, share her favorite music, invite you to familiar places. These aren't surface-level interactions. They're invitations. Even in today's world, social media is part of this. If she's interacting with you consistently, sharing things she knows you'll like, responding quickly to your messages, that's a sign you're a fixture in her thoughts. Neil reminds us, words can lie, patterns can't. Let's move into deeper water now: vulnerability. When she opens up emotionally, and not to vent, not for drama, but with honesty, she's letting you into a sacred space. Her fears, her hopes, the things that make her human, that's not weakness, that's connection. Neil emphasizes, vulnerability is the foundation of real intimacy. She doesn't open that door for just anyone, and if she opens it for you, treat it with respect. Now here's something even deeper: testing. Yes, testing, but not in an aggressive, manipulative way. Rather, she might drop small remarks or jokes to see how you respond. She's looking for stability, authenticity, confidence. She wants to see how grounded you are, because she wants someone who can hold space for her full, unfiltered self. If you stay steady, playful, or kind instead of insecure or defensive, she sees you as safe, and from there, the door opens even more. Also notice how she reacts to silence. Many people rush to fill quiet moments, but when a woman is genuinely into you, silence feels comfortable. She's okay sitting in the quiet, because she's not afraid of intimacy. She trusts that something real is forming, even when nothing is said. And then, observe how she sets boundaries. Yes, sets boundaries. A woman who likes you feels secure enough to say no, to ask for space, to speak her truth. That honesty, that's not rejection, that's trust, that's emotional maturity. Another thing, watch how she responds when you show vulnerability. If she listens, shows empathy, or becomes more curious, she's invested. She wants to know not just what you do, but who you are. And that matters. She'll also celebrate your wins not out of politeness, but joy. If she genuinely cheers your success, big or small, that's investment. She sees herself in your story. Look at how she handles your environment, your friends, your world. If she makes an effort to get to know your people or involve herself in your life, it's not just kindness. It's commitment. She's saying, I want to be part of this. There's more. When she remembers your preferences, anticipates your needs, notices your habits without being asked, that's care. That's attention, and that's rare. A woman who's into you balances closeness and independence beautifully. She maintains her own goals, friendships, and passions. But still, she creates intentional moments for just the two of you. That balance is healthy and powerful. And what about humor? If she jokes with you, creates inside references, teases you gently, she's building a private world only the two of you understand. It's emotional intimacy dressed as playfulness. Neil always says, humor is the secret weapon of connection. When disagreements arise, watch how she handles them. If she leans into understanding instead of avoidance, if she wants to resolve, not run, that's depth. That's someone in it for more than a good time. Pay attention when you're apart too. Does she check in without pressure? Does she stay in touch without expectation? That balance of interest and independence is emotional maturity. Finally, observe her in groups. Her posture, her glances, the way she positions herself physically in your presence, it all reveals more than words ever could. Subtle orientation, brief looks, gentle smiles, she's showing you where her attention truly lies. Now here's the truth that matters most. Learning to read these signs isn't about playing games. It's about awareness, confidence, presence. It's about recognizing the quiet language of real attraction. If you've missed these cues before, that's okay. You're learning now, you're growing, and if something clicked for you here, if a light bulb went off, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment. Which sign surprised you the most? Which one do you realize you've overlooked? Because the more you reflect, the sharper your perception becomes. Hit that like button if this helped you uncover a deeper layer of connection. Subscribe, turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning of how you'll grow in this area. Attraction isn't a mystery, it's a skill, a mindset, and it starts by noticing the signs no one else does. Let's unlock it together.